What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. So again, with this new Season 5 Reloaded update, I'm going to be pumping videos out. So today's video is going to be focused on sniper supports and best sniper loadouts overall. Not a lot's changed in the realm of snipers, and I just made a video recently, so this probably won't be a very long video, but I still want to give you an update on what I think the best sniper supports are and the best snipers are. As always, if you guys like the content, drop us a sub, a like, and a comment. Helps the website out and helps me keep doing this. Let's get into it, and we will start talking about the sniper supports and what my new favorite sniper support is, actually.
I knocked one of them. Oh, he's on top. There's a 14 for
I got 3 of them of the 4 down. PPSh, new best sniper support.
So in the patch notes, they said they did something to the PPSh recoil. So I wanted to try it as a sniper support because it's always had really good TTKs in the longer ranges, which are really important for a sniper support. As you saw in that clip, those guys on the rooftop were probably, I don't know, 25, 30 meters away. And that's just not a situation that generally you're going to be wanting to use your sniper, even if you have a Swiss or a car, just because it's inconsistent. You want to just beam them and flinch them. So that's a good spot for a sniper support gun to show off its abilities. So for the PPSh, you can see, I got the TTK charts up here. The PPSh is this darker blue color. The AK-74U is the cyan. The Tech 9 with the auto repeater is the green. The XM4 is the magenta, and then the AK-47 Cold War is orange. This is my advanced TTK calculator. So this is 10% headshots, 10% neck shots, 30% chest shots, 15% stomach shots, and 35% extremities. I think those are pretty good percentages for where you're actually going to be hitting people with a sniper support. Again, we don't have exact numbers there, but I think those are pretty good estimations of a normal gunfight. So you can see on here, the Tech 9 easily wins in TTKs pretty much everywhere. This is including open bolt delay, and I don't have bullet travel time included. So with TTKs, the Tech 9 with the full auto repeater easily wins. It's going to be the best SMG of the group, so the best inside that 15-meter mark, basically. But for a sniper support, a lot of the time your engagements are a lot longer than 15 meters. So if you look out past that, the Tech 9 still has great TTKs. It still has the best TTKs of the group, but if you actually use the Tech 9, you're not landing those shots that often. So it has great TTKs in theoretical sense, but the actual accuracy of the gun makes it so you don't ever actually get those TTKs. Whereas the PPSh, after these recoil changes, you saw in that little clip, I beamed those guys on the roof. I don't think I missed more than maybe a couple bullets on both of them combined. The recoil is much, much better than it was. I can't pinpoint exactly what it was. I don't have recoil plots from beforehand. And it might even mostly be a visual thing, but my accuracy was 5 times better after this update with the PPSh, which I like. I like that they brought the PPSh back into the meta. You can see the dark blue here is the PPSh. Out at range, it has basically the same TTK as the AK-74U and the Cold War AK. Using these shot location percentages, the XM4 wins by a little bit because of those neck shots being the same as headshots. That brings the TTK down a little bit. Obviously, if you're just hitting like chest shots or something, then I think the AK beats out the XM4. And it looks like this is a big difference here between the PPSh and the AK-74U up close. First of all, the AK-74U has about 3 meters less range than the PPSh, so you get 3 meters extra range, and then anywhere past 14 meters, the PPSh wins basically. So they're tied here, and this is so small that you can't even say this is a win for the AK-74U. It's 7 milliseconds. That's like not even worth considering, especially because this is including open bolt delay. We'll turn that off in a second. But anywhere past 14 meters, PPSh is going to win. And inside 14 meters, this looks like a big difference, but that's just because of the way the plot is scaled. It's actually only like 27 milliseconds. So 27 milliseconds is like a frame and a half at 60 FPS. That's just a fraction of a second. And if we turn open bolt delay off, you'll see that now the PPSh actually has faster TTKs everywhere than the AK-74U, and it has a faster fire rate, so it's more forgiving and it flinches the enemy more. Faster fire rate is pretty much almost always better. The one case where it would not be is if there was a small mag, but in the case of the PPSh, we have a 71 round drum mag, so ammo is not an issue. The high fire rate's awesome on the PPSh and feels great to use. Let's go look at base stats real quick, or summary stats. So these are just the base guns, but we got AK-47, Cold War, XM4, AK-74U, Tech 9, PPSh. So right off the bat, fire rate, PPSh is in second behind the Tech 9 auto, over 900 RPM, which is awesome. Like we were just talking about, ADS times, because the PPSh has an open bolt delay, they tend to balance guns with open bolt delay with really good ADS times. So you see with the PPSh, the ADS time is only 172 milliseconds, which is faster than the rest of them by a significant amount here. Has standard SMG sprint to fire times. It has some of the fastest movement speed in the game, so this is faster than the AK-74U by a good amount and the Tech 9 by a good amount. ADS movement speed is also faster than the Tech 9 and the AK-74U, and I'm not even mentioning the ARs because obviously one of the fastest SMGs is going to be faster than the ARs, no question. Standard bullet velocity actually has a really good reload time, even with the huge mag. And like I said, you can get a 71 round drum mag in the PPSh, so you can just keep frying the team without even reloading. It's awesome. So on the topic of good ADS times, if I include open bolt delay and then I add a percentage of ADS time, you're going to see that all of a sudden, again, the PPSh comes out in front of the AK-74U because it has better ADS times. So yes, the theoretical already aimed down the sight, already hitting all your shots TTK of the AK-74U is a little bit better up close and a little bit better at range. But the actual TTKs you're going to get with this gun, really, there's really almost no advantage for the AK-74U. And because of the high fire rate and the forgiveness, I'd actually say you have an advantage with the PPSh and the good ADS times and the good mobility. I actually do think the PPSh, in my personal opinion, is taking over as my favorite sniper support for sure. All right, so previously I made a video just in the last week or so where I went over the best sniper rifles, and I still said it was Swiss and ZRG. That's still true, even with the changes. So in this patch, they actually they made some weird changes to the recoil in the patch notes. They didn't really tell us exactly what they were, but I'll show you what the changes were. I found some old footage, compared them to today's footage of the Swiss and the ZRG. So let's go into that real quick and compare the two. So I'm just going to play this on repeat so you guys can see it. Basically, on the left side, we have the Swiss before the patch today. This is actually the original Swiss. You can see the old reticle there. Versus the Swiss last night when I was playing after the patch. And if you look carefully, this one actually doesn't look that much different. But the new Swiss, the recoil changes, it has a lot more vertical kick. So it kicks up more, but it comes back to the same spot again. So it's really not that big of a deal. It makes it a little harder to track your target as you're rechambering the bullet. But it's not a big deal at all. I didn't mind it. It wasn't a big negative. So I still think the Swiss is the best aggressive sniper rifle in the game. All right, so doing the same thing here with the ZRG. We have the old ZRG on the left versus the new ZRG on the right. And you can see that the old one just had very, very little recoil, which made no sense because it's such a big, powerful sniper rifle. And now they've adjusted it where it has a lot more visual recoil. Again, it recenters to the exact same spot. So it's not that big of a deal. But it is a difference. So it is a little bit worse than it was before, but still, no question, I think ZRG is the best long-range sniper rifle. It hits the hardest, has the highest bullet velocity, it has a very fast fire rate, and recenters to the same spot. Even though it has visual recoil, it recenters to the exact same spot. So I still think the ZRG and the Swiss are the two best sniper rifles, no question, in Warzone. So the build for the PPSh that I like is this. We've got Groove Suppressor for bolt velocity, damage range. Specialized grip. It still has a decent amount of recoil. It's much more controllable than it was before. But I still like the Specialized grip for a sniper support build. It just makes it easier to control at range. 71 round drum. Again, doesn't affect ADS times that much. The gun already has fantastic ADS times. So you can get away with using the 71 round drum, no problem. It doesn't really hurt anything besides ADS times. The Tiger Team Spotlight, just to get that movement speed even faster. The thing already has some of the fastest movement speed in the game, but with the Tiger Team, it goes even faster. And then I use an optic. The irons are okay, but I use an optic. If you pre-ordered Vanguard, you get this Mastercraft bundle, and it comes with a quick dot that has this unique sight picture, and it's perfectly clear. There's literally no ring around it. It's just an awesome sight picture. So if you have that bundle, I'd recommend using that optic, but it's really not that much better than like the Microflex, just a tiny bit. But this is the build. This thing's awesome. I love using it with the Swiss. Now, if you're going to run the ZRG, again, you might want to try to use an XM4 or a Cold War AK just to extend that damage range out. But again, this thing, even though it's an SMG, it has really good TTKs out at range that are comparable to the AK. maybe a little bit worse than the XM4 if you mix in a neck shot here and there. But even with the ZRG, I think the PPSh is a really good option nowadays with the great mobility, the great spin to fire time, the good TTKs, the huge mag, and reasonably controllable recoil. I think it's my new favorite sniper support, no question, for both Verdansk and Rebirth. Alright guys, well that does it for this video. Again, with Season 5 Reloaded, I'm working really hard right now. I'm trying to solidify TrueGameData as like a long-term career for me, so I'm working harder than ever. If you want to support that, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. As always, I appreciate all the support I've gotten. I can't believe we're almost at 200,000 subscribers just a little bit after a year of making YouTube videos. That's crazy. Like I said, pushing really hard now, so we really, really appreciate all the support. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it useful and informative. I will see you guys all in the next one, which I don't know if it'll be later today or tomorrow. Just not sure when it's going to come out. But thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video.